Okay. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health, tax, professional advice. We're not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. This podcast is not intended to replace professional medical advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or the management. This podcast may contain adult themes, so parental discretion is advised. So today, prepare to be inspired by an extraordinary individual whose life story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformational power of personal development. Today, we are honored to welcome a remarkable motivational speaker with a deep passion of helping others transform their lives, Sandra Kales. Sandra's journey began in Nigeria, where she grew up as the eighth of 9 sisters. Her early years were marked by unimaginable hardship, including the devastating loss of her mother at the age of 7. Sandra was raised by her eldest sister and her husband in a one-bedroom home where 7 family members lived together. It was during these formative years that Sandra learned the invaluable lessons of resilience and the importance of never giving up. At the age of 17, Sandra faced another life-altering event when she was trafficked in Europe. Upon her rescue in Netherlands, Sandra spent 8 difficult years navigating the asylum system, during which she faced homelessness, depression, and a profound struggle with self-worth. She worked as a cleaner, barely surviving and reaching a point where she contemplated ending her life. However, in her darkest hour, Sandra discovered the transformative power of personal development. Through education and unwavering determination. She began to rebuild her life. In just 3 years, Sandra went from cleaning offices and toilets to owning 2 thriving businesses, proving to herself and the world that no situation is permanent and that we all have the power to change our circumstances. So welcome, Sandra. Welcome. I'm so honored to have you in our presence this morning.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
All right. So we have a lot of, we want to make sure we get all the nuggets from you. So we have a lot of questions here. So we're going to be asking you some questions. All right. So, Sandra, your journey from the cleaning of offices to building 2 successful businesses is just 3 years is remarkable. What were the driving forces that kept you moving forward during the most challenging moments?
Because I hate what I was doing as a cleaner. It was embarrassing and the salary is really terrible. By then, I had no driver license. If you're familiar to Netherlands weather, it's always rainy, windy. I was always on my bicycle going to different locations to clean toilets and offices. It was tiring. And when I was building my first business, had a comfortable home, yes, I'm tired. I was tired building and learning. But when I remember the things I had to face at work, how hard it is, such a job, like cleaning job, they are very easy to get, very easy to keep, but they are very hard to do. Somehow, that really kept me going. It kept me going when I get tired and I want to give up. When I remember, if I can do something now, and I will spend the rest of my life cleaning offices and toilets for a living, where would that get me? So once I talk about all the problems, the hardships, the difficulties, then I get motivated. I needed to do what I needed to do because I had no choice. I had no choice.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes when you're faced with no options, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Having a plan B, no C, no D.
No, that is the problem with people. I have a friend. She's a really great friend. She's a nurse. She loves her job. The problem is that because she has a child now, she has to do shifts and nights. She wants to start a business long before I wanted to start my first business. She still wants to start it today. Her problem is always having plan B. I told her, no plan. If you had plan B, plan A would never work because you have something to fall on. You say, yeah, if it doesn't work, I do it that way. But when you block all your roads, like there's no other thing, there's no other thing to do, there's nothing left. You got to do this or you die in the process. That was in my case. There was nothing left. I had no choice. I just have to do what I got to do. Otherwise, yeah, there was nothing to fall back on. That is what I would say to people. If you want to get something done, don't have a plan B. Plan B will destroy your plan A.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I must remember that. Yes. So what would you say were some of the initial mental barriers you had to overcome to make such a massive career shift? And how did you address those?
What do you mean?
Okay. You were doing a particular job and you're gonna do something completely different that that's out of your comfort zone. So the question is, what were the initial mental barriers that you had to overcome? Did you have to talk yourself out of, I'm not good enough, I can't do it? What were the mental barriers that you had to? Yes.
Yes. I remember the first time when I was introduced to online world was 2000, year 2000. A friend of mine was going to introduce me to some selling products for people with their commission. I could not log in my Facebook. That was how bad I was with social media. And when I finally decided I needed to do something, I got some instructions from somebody that were going to teach me how to do affiliate marketing. I was watching the video. I saw one guy talking about all this thing on the video. I said something to myself, Sandra, who are you to compete with people like this online? You're not gonna make it. They're gonna crush you. There is no chance for you. There's no how. Of course, I had that. Who am I to do something? I'm a cleaner. What do I know? I'm going to start a business, start online business. How did that even work? Of course, I doubted continuously. I was scared, I was terrified. But people like Tony Robbins helped me. I love to learn, I love to read. I kept reading and going to seminars and listening to motivational videos, inspirational videos. And one video that really helped me was by Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said in that video that he, Tony Robbins, has fear of failure. I was shocked. I said, okay, that means if a guy like this has fear of failure, it means fear of failure. Fear is normal. So that really kept me going. Up to today, most of the things I do scare me, but I still do them anyway. Of course. So right now, I'm busy with my first workbook to help people achieve their goals. I still hear that voice in my head saying to me, Sandra, who are you to do a thing like this? Who the hell do you think you are? I still hear those voices, yes. Those are really strong, they are strong things that a lot of people take them for granted. But if everybody has it, they're gonna speak because they said our brain is to keep us in our comfort zone. Our brain will do anything, say anything to keep us where we are. But we have to get past it. Yes. I was terrified to get started.
For those who feel that they're stuck or unsure of their path, what are the first steps you recommend that they take to begin a meaningful transformation? What are the first steps they need to do?
Great question. Because I'm dealing with another workbook, I call it Discover Your Path. This is a major problem. A lot of people really don't know what they want to do, but they know they have to get out of their situation. If you don't know where you are headed, you cannot get there. You don't get motivated. I would say to them, keep searching, keep asking yourself, what do I want? What do I want? What makes me happy? Why do I hate where I am right now? It's what I listed in my book. It's what also got me. Why do I want to change my situation? What is killing me? Like in my job, I did not know what I want. I started asking, why must I change this situation? What do I want? Where do I see myself in 10 years? That is another thing. A lot of people are scared to really look in their 10 years. But if we help you, it's okay to dream. Dream big. Get scared. It's okay. Ask yourself, where do I see myself in 10 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? Those questions will help you get the right answer. Actually, let me said the questions are the answers. When we ask the right questions, we get the right answer. Keep asking. And most of the times, I do think people are scared to really ask themselves the question because they don't want the answer. Then once they get the answer, they have to get to work somehow. Or they get scared they cannot achieve it while dreaming about something you cannot get.
So what happens in a situation where this person, okay, they talk to themselves and they understand, where they want to go, and they start out on this plan. They don't have the plan B, just the plan A. And they start off, and all of a sudden there are things that are impacting them, and they're facing major setbacks. How do you address that? How a person is supposed to handle major setbacks when they start out?
Setbacks, how to handle setbacks, the only way to handle setbacks is keep going. Setbacks will always be there. And when I get started and there was a time, sometimes really I cried. I would cry. Something don't go my way. I would really, really like, oh my God, I wish things were easy. I want to say sometimes, always, but Jiro said, don't wish things were easy. Wish you were better. And this guy is a multimillionaire, is around my age. He was saying that if you are in a place that you are doing online business, you just get started. You are not in a place where you sometimes you grab your laptop and you want to throw it out of the window, then you are not at the right place. So I say, okay, this is normal. Of course, what I say is about setback. It's there, it's gonna be there, but just keep going. And what will help people, what help me is having a goal. If you have a clear goal, no matter the setbacks, of course you're gonna cry so many times, like I did. Cry so many times, but keep moving forward and surround yourself with people who support your dream, who support your vision.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Exactly. Have a mentor, have a coach. It's very important. I have a life coach, of course. I have a coach. Have somebody who will guide you through it, somebody who understands it, somebody who has been through it. For example, I'm a coach. I have been through setbacks. I do two businesses. It was not easy. Of course, it's still not easy. And I'm busy with my third business. I had somebody when a friend of mine who just started her first business, she'll call me, she'll complain. I say, relax. So most of the times when she complains, I'm just laughing. I say, no, I've been there. You will get through it. Keep going. Something like that. Have somebody who can help you, can guide you through it. Otherwise, you might just give up somehow.
Yeah.
Because the journey is hard here. It is hard. Honestly. Most of the time situations starting from cleaning to become an entrepreneur. It was hard. Every journey is hard. What we don't know, we don't know. And something we don't know is always hard.
Could you share a success story from someone who has attended your seminar? How does your program impact their life? Do you have any success story of somebody attending your seminar and what impact it had on their life?
Yes, I was a lady, I was just speaking. It was about helping people stepping out of their comfort zone, dreaming big and wanting more out of life and here to go after what you want. Because, like one of my icons said, I did not come this far to stay this far. We human beings, most of the time, we settle too soon. We just like settle, like, yeah, it's all I can do. Who settle? Like in my case, I end up, if I look back now, say, I was a cleaner. What an embarrassment. Look what I can do, but I was wasting those talents, cleaning offices and toilet for a living. This seminar was about helping people stepping out of their comfort zones or dreaming big and go after what they want, have more in life. I was just speaking, and afterwards she said, I don't know, it's like you were speaking to me. I have been wanting to start my business, be a coach for 5 years now. I always talk. And one of her friends was there saying, I'm so grateful she came. She's so knowledgeable. And we have been saying, you got to do it. She don't dare to do it. She said, I saw how you were speaking. She was saying to me, this lady, it's like the universe just brought her to talk to me. Now I know what to do. Now I know what to do. Some weeks later, and she contacted me. She has a website, she has a logo, and she's a coach. I said, wow, after 5 years, finally, she's doing what she always wanted to do.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes it's really push. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that goes into a segue to the other question. Motivation sometimes fade over time. How do you advise people to maintain momentum and stay driven through their journey? How
A
can people
clear
stay
goal.
motivated during the journey?
Clear goal. Yes, clear goal. Know what you want. The problem is I wrote this. I will come back to this so this event, once the book is ready. The problem I also had in the past, people really don't know what they want. They focus on something, but most of the times what people want is not what we are really after, it's what is behind it. Right? So when people say, for example, I want money, do they want piece of paper in their hands with picture of their people on it? No, they don't want piece of paper. They want the feeling money can give. When somebody say, I want to start a business, I want to start a business, but if you don't know why you want to start a business, when you get to the third time, you will break down and you will stop. But if you know the reason behind it, why do you want to start a business? It's not about the business. It's never about the business. It's something else behind it. For example, in my case, I was tired of not be able to decide what happened in my life. I want to be my boss. I want to be in control of my life. I want to decide what I do when I do it with who I do. I wanted freedom. It was never about the business. So when I started my business, what was driving me was the freedom. I want the freedom. I want to be free. I want to be free. I have setbacks. I have obstacles. I lost money. No, when I remember what was going after the freedom that kept me going, I advise people what you want sometimes. Yes, I started business. Business was a way for me to get the freedom I wanted. But if I did not knew what I wanted, it was about the business. I said, man, it's just how to start a business. I give it up. But it was what was behind that business that kept me going. So I will say this to people. Know what you really are after. When you ask people, what do you want to say? I want more money. What do you mean more money? What do you mean? If I give, okay, I do this to somebody, say, yeah, I want more money. I say, how much do you earn? She say, I earn like 2,000 euro. I say, okay, then if you get 10 euro more, like every month you are earning 2,010 euro, then you have more money to say yes. Will that solve your problem, the 10 euro? No, of course, that is not what you. There's something else. You got to dig that up. Keep digging. What do I want? What kind of life do I want to live? I say to people, have a clear goal. Go. I write my goal every day before I go to bed. What I want to have in my life from today to 2045. If you have that, my God, you will be so driven and motivated, and nothing can stop you because you already believe what is possible for you and what is out there. You will not let anything stop you. I say to my husband, I'm grateful you are like me, you are driven like me. Otherwise, God help us. Because I will not let anyone stop me. I will not even let myself stop me from my journey. Because I'm so driven. Why? It's not about the businesses I'm building. It's about what is behind it, the feeling, what I want in my life. I want to be one of the richest women in the world. I want to help people get better results. I want to live when I die, say to my soul, when I die, I want my soul to look at my body and say, what a journey. Thank you for this great adventure. I hope my next journey will be better than this. I want to die that way. I don't want my soul to look at my body and say, what a waste of life. No, I want to die empty. I want to die even when I'm gone. I see I have people I impact that they can carry on with what I teach them. They can teach other people my spirit lesson. That's why I'm here. That's what I do for. I get tired. Last time I promised my husband I will be coming to bed. I think I will be going to bed early. To me, before like 12 o'clock is early. I need this, I need the rest. I get tired, of course. My girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, she asked me, how do you do it? I said, do you think I don't get tired? I do. But I need this. I need to do it. Like I said, I have no choice because already I have already seen what is possible for me and what I can do. Why waste my talent? Why waste my life? And there are so many opportunities in the world today. Why let those things get wasted? We can do more. So, what I would say to people, be clear with what you want. It's not about, I want a better job, I want a better career, I want a business, I want more money. Those are not the things you want. No, there are something behind that. Figure that out and write it every day or put pictures where you can see it. And next time I will show you our vision board. It's huge in the middle of our living room. Every day it reminds me what exists in the world I live. And those things, everything I want in my life already exists in this world. And I can have them. So those things keep me going. I can do it. Why waste time? That is, declare with what you want, my friend. It's not the business. No, forget that. What do you want? Why do you want to start a business? You hate your boss, yeah. You really want to be free. You want to have financial freedom, that you want to live a life where you have choice. You can be able to buy what you want, do what you want, travel when you want, and stay as long as you want without thinking about job or money. You are free. Live the life the universe or God or Allah, whatever you believe, have created, made for you. That is what you want. If you really declare with that, I want financial freedom, that will drive it. Keep driving you no matter the obstacle. No, you will not see the obstacle because you know, no. You got to be there because you have no choice. Otherwise, yeah, life is wasted. That's how I see it.
Agree with you on the point. I think for me, when my time comes to go, I want to make sure that everything that God had put in me, that He wanted me to do and or to impact other people, whatever it is, I want to make sure that when my eyes is closed, that I can say I'm empty. I'm going back. I delivered everything that I was supposed to deliver, and that's my goal.
This is great, bro. I love this. I have the same thing. Like, God, I say this always to myself. God created me. You see my story. I have been through a lot. God has helped me go into this point. It has a reason. God has invested so much on me. I don't want God to say, come on, Sandra. What a waste. No. I want God to be proud of me and say, yes, you made a good decision. I know you could do it. That's it. So glorify God. Because, yeah, we can do more. Of course, like I said before, we are quick to settle for like, oh yeah, this is it. No, we can do more. I know with my experiences. Like I said, I will look back to my past and say, goodness, really, with all this talent, I was using it to clean offices and toilets for a living. And I convinced myself that that was all I could do, something like that. That was what I was good at. What I'm not talented, I said to myself. I don't have a really great education, even though I have the diploma. I cannot do that. Oh my God, I don't. I convinced myself. I told myself all these lies, and I believed it. And I hated the job. Trust me, I hated the situation, but I just kept going because my brain has accepted that. Yeah, this is all. Yeah.
Sometimes we can self-sabotage ourselves. We sabotage our own self. We don't need anybody to sabotage us.
Other people don't sabotage us. We do it ourselves. That's
It's
true.
true.
Exactly. I said, I advise people, I say, yeah, oh yeah, but if I leave now, my boss, I said, no, your boss don't care. The company don't care. I was cleaning offices and toilets for a living, working for two bosses. When I was ready to leave, nobody had gone to my head and said, we don't want you to leave or we kill you. No, they said to me, yeah, oh, we're going to miss you. Yeah, of course they're going to miss you. Nobody helped me there. I put myself there. I was the one who applied for this job. I was the one who decided to stay. I kept myself there. When I was ready to go, I left. Nothing happened. We are just the one who hold ourselves anywhere we are. Nobody is. Some people, of course, they blame everything or everyone. And
That's
that is
true.
something Uh, that's something I want to address. Not taking responsibility. Anybody who wants a breakthrough, the first thing to do is to start taking responsibility. You are 100% responsible for yourself. Not your job, not your boss, the company you work for, your husband or your children. I hear this a lot. Oh, I wanted to start a business, but my kids, no. My husband is not supporting, my wife is not supporting. No, fuck up. You. Your life is yours. The moment that if people who don't take full responsibility of themselves, they don't go anywhere. That was my first breakthrough in life when I realized I am responsible for my life. I'm responsible for how much I earn. I'm responsible for me being a cleaner. I'm responsible for where I am in life. And I'm responsible to take myself from where I am now to the place I want to be. Then I start putting in the work because I know nobody's coming to the rescue. It's all me. I got to do it or I perish. Full responsibility. It's not the wish in your family like the Nigerians would think. No, it's not the devil. Mm-mm. You.
Not the devil, all right.
Not the devil. You know, Nigerians, their favorite words when they do something, when they are caught with something, they say it is the work of the devil. Oh,
yeah, yes, witchcraft.
Yeah. The devil is always responsible. The witches are responsible. Is always the demon. Mm-mm. Yeah, no.
I remember in the I think in the 50s, no, in the 60s, they used to have a show called the Flip Wilson Show. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah,
And he always, anytime he does anything, he say, "Oh, the devil made me do it."
But guys, he's taking too much blame.
Yes, he always said, "Oh, the devil made me do it." Yeah. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, you mentioned also that the importance of setting extraordinary goals. Extraordinary goals. How do you teach people to balance realistic steps with the pursuit of these ambitious goals, these extraordinary goals? How do you balance it with realistic?
Break it down. You know, sometimes it's good to dream big. I have a big dream as a motivational speaker, as a public speaker. One of my dreams, my biggest dream, is to have a stage of tens of thousands of people. It's a huge step, but you got to start from somewhere. And you got to start. I have my goals, like I said, my goals, one of my important goals is 2040, I'll be one of the richest women in the world. Of course, you got to start from
Absolutely.
somewhere. Yes, and my goal, I write my goals every day. I say at the end of 2025, I will be for personal income will be 120,000. That's personal income, not business revenue. I got to
Mhm.
start from somewhere. Next year, I double it or 10 times it. That is how we do it. But if you don't do that, you have a huge goal. It's gonna be too big and you get scared. You got to break it step by step. If I say yes, of course, I want to be one of the richest women in the world, 2040. If I don't break the goals down, how much I'm going to be earning every year to get to that point, then I'm looking at big picture. I have to climb, right? You cannot just sprint to be there, but you have to climb. How much can I in 2025? I'm gonna double in 2026. This is where I want to be, 1.2 million. 2027, I want to have total network, personal network of 7.5 million. That is how I break my goals down, realistically. I break it down. The goals I know I can achieve, break it down step by step. If you want to be earning 1 million every year or every month, look where you are right now. Say, okay, at the end of this year, I want to be earning 100,000 or 20,000. You got to break it to that point, like baby steps. That is how you get there.
How do you see fear playing a role in holding back people, and what strategies do you share overcoming fear-based limitations, the fear that people keep on telling you about?
Yes.
When you're talking to them, how do you convince them or break them out of this fear mentality, fear of
Do you mean
limitation?
fear of limitation?
Mm-hmm.
You mean? Do you mean that fear of getting started, of moving ahead, of limitation of I cannot do it, or the stories they said?
Fear limitation meaning that you limit yourself because you put all the what if this doesn't work? I'm
Oh,
supposed to leave my job and things don't work. I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage. I'm not going to be able to, all these 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 fear things that you put in front of us because we we only can see as far as we can see. We can't see, sometimes the journey of a thousand miles begins with a single step, but a lot of people don't understand that. If they can't see down the road and see what is what is there and everything, all the different things that happens on the journey. But if when you look in the Bible, or when you look in the Bible, this is a perfect thing too. When you look in the Bible, all these people that God called to do all these different things, the Moses, the Joseph, all these different people, he just called them, but he doesn't tell them, he doesn't show them, he shows them the beginning and sometimes the end, but he doesn't show them the in between and the different things that they have to go through. Sometimes if they saw the things that they had to go through, they say, no, they would say, no, I'm not doing that. It's okay. I'm good. I'll stay where I am. So that is
Steve
the
Jobs,
question.
yeah, Steve Jobs said the same thing. He said if they knew what was going to happen in between with Apple, they would have not get started. My
Yes.
first business, I had that feeling. I come to a point I said, if the coach told me I was going to go through all those processes, I would have not get started. Yes, of course. Let's get back to the question. I am strict. I'm disciplined. Between you and I and everybody, I don't work with people with excuses. You know why? They are not hungry enough. They are not in that point where they know they got to make the changes. Like one story my husband told me, there was a guy by the train station. His dog were lying on something like a nail was hurting him. And the dog was making noise, and somebody came and said to the guy, what is wrong with your dog? He's lying on something that is hurting him. Help him. The guy said, no, it's not hot enough. If it's hot enough, he will stand up and leave. Yeah, that's it.
That's true.
When people, yes, when people give you that long story of, oh, I want to, but, I'm gone. That person is not ready. What I learn with my experiences, you can never help somebody who is not ready to help him or herself. It's waste of time. Don't do it. When people give you but, once you hear that word but, walk away. Don't waste your time. I have this also like my youngest sister, and she had an accident one time. She was in coma for 2 weeks, and to come out, she got traumatized, and she was depressed. And I was sad that I could not help my sister with her depression being the way I am, my knowledge and all. I spoke with my coach about it that I feel sad. My coach asked me one question. She said, is she asking for help? I said, no. He said, then you cannot help her. She's not asking for help. She's just complaining. She wants attention. Let her complain. You cannot help her. Then I said, yes, it's true. You cannot help somebody who said, I will do whatever I say. If you're a coach, you are hearing me, I'm saying to you, work with people who say, I'm ready to do whatever I say. When people come to you and said, yeah, but I want to, but you cannot. Tony Robbins said, I work with people who are hungry. And that is true. When people are hungry, they will put in the work like I said, I had no choice. There was no choice for me. I needed to succeed or I failed. Somebody like that, we put in the work. My love, it's not easy. Sometimes I will work till 4 a.m. and I got to get up from bed 6:30 a.m. to go clean offices and toilets when I started my first business. I'll be so tired. feeling my body cold. I say, what is going on? When I look at the time, oh God, because I was hungry. I was hungry for a change. If everybody who put in such amount of work and determined will succeed. But people who are not hungry enough, they will not put that amount of work. They will not succeed. I have a sister of mine, really, she has now, okay, long story. She would tell me she don't have time. She wants to start a business for a long time. She said, I don't have time. But sometimes she will send me a message. I say, what are you doing? She said, I'm on Facebook. I'm just watching some videos. Is that not time you are wasting? And one day we were talking. I promised to call her. And then I forgot. It was 2 a.m. I know she goes to bed late. Then I just sent her a message. I said, oh, I'm sorry I forgot to call you. I don't know if you're sleeping right now. She called me. She said, no, I'm not sleeping yet. We were talking. They said, you are still awake? She asked me. I said, yes. She said, what are you doing? I said, I was working on the business. There was something I needed to do. She said, you see why I hate business? You are still awake this time? I said, are you not awake? She said, yes. I said, what did you do? She said, not really. I was watching TV. I said, exactly. I am awake, working for my future, and you are awake, wasting your time. She said, to me, you hate to start a business because it takes too much time. You have to stay awake. And you know, when that's excuses. When people use those excuses, I don't have time, God, my job, no. We all have time if we really want to make the changes we need.
That's so true. And that's another thing that's impacting person's development, because we're having so many different things vying for our attention. You know, we have the television, we have work, we have, you know, children, we have all kind of things. So it's, you know, it's very important, as you said, to keep on refocusing on what is important to you, you know, where you need to go, your long-term goals, and, you know, what to do on a daily basis impact those goals as you go along anyhow. Yeah. So what do you see as the biggest misconception about personal growth, and how do you challenge those in your teaching? Personal growth. What is the biggest misconception of personal growth, about personal growth, and how do you challenge those in your teaching when you're teaching people about growth? What's the misconception?
Misconception, you mean misunderstanding or something?
Yeah, what people, like, people might think that personal growth is just something that, you know, you write down and you talk about it, you motivate yourself about it, but you don't do anything about it. You have to put in the work. So that's a misconception. A misconception could be that, you know.
Yeah, I got that a lot. People will say, yeah, motivational speakers, they say, go do it, yeah. Go do it, and nothing happens. You get motivated, and you are weak again, you get motivated. Some people think just hearing it one time will help you. No, you have to keep hearing it. Like you just said, so much distractions everywhere. If we hear something once, we don't do anything about it. We forget it. I remember when I once was going to do affiliate marketing, the guy who owned the platform, he's a multimillionaire. I heard one thing was speaking. He said, my coach, personal development coach, he was paying his coach $2 million a year. I was going crazy in my head. After a millionaire have a coach, are you crazy? What do you need a coach for? You don't need a personal development coach. You already think you are successful. God bless him. I was crazy. No, he needed that to keep him in line, because there are games we cannot win alone. Some people believe just looking at video and you hear it, then all those things gonna just work out for you. If it were that easy, everybody will have it already. No, you got to put in the work and keep hearing it. I go to seminar. I read books every day. I go to seminar. This year I'm going to Germany for 3 days training. I'm going to Romania, here in Netherlands, Malaysia. I have to keep developing. That's what people don't understand. They just think, okay, now here is done, my problem will be solved. No. Tony Robbins call it no ending improvement. Keep on learning, keep on developing. Otherwise, you're gonna forget and slip back to your old version, that part of you that never achieved anything, that were not happy. You got to keep going and hear something. Don't just hear it and say, okay, now I heard it. No, you got to put in the work. Do something about what you hear. That is it. A lot of people misunderstand and think, yeah, okay, that's it, I hear it and I will be good. No.
So in your walk of life, how do you stay grounded and balanced while managing multiple responsibilities and supporting others on your growth journey? How do you stay grounded and balanced? Well,
That's it. I used to with this question. It's about planning. Planning, planning, planning. I have my day planning. I'm working on my own planning. It's called your personalized action plan to help people achieve their goals. I make plans. What I'm going to do this is already in planning. And what I'm going to do next month is already in planning. What I'm going to do this week is in planning. What is not in my planning is not coming in. I say to people, listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not ambulance driver, or I don't work in ambulance. I'm not a police. I don't have an emergency work. So what is not in my planning can always wait. Before I go to bed, I would plan my tomorrow. When I wake up, I've done my exercise. I work according to what is in my book. Otherwise, you go crazy. All these demands. Everybody wants your attention. You go really crazy. My friend said you are too strict. No, I have to. Otherwise, you cannot get anything off ground. Just like we know, social media is there. The TV is there to distract you. I work from home. I have office at home. Some people think they can just call and visit and ask you something. No, no. You have to have a well-structured plan. What you're gonna do today, it must be in the book. The time. If something else comes in, it cannot. That can wait. That's the only way you can keep yourself in balance. Otherwise, you will be everywhere, except where you really need to be.
Busy doing nothing, busy achieving nothing.
I think one of those days, you just know you are busy, but at the end, you don't know what you can't see what to do. You start to be busy all day. What will I do? Nothing. Nothing. That's it. Planning is important. That's why I am designing this book, Your Personalized Action Plan. It's very important. I will send to you until done.
All right, sounds good.
Planning, you are intact. Yeah.
Your journey has taken you from hard work to immense success. What are some misconceptions about what it truly takes to build a life of both achievement and fulfillment? A lot of you seen a lot of people looking at you, especially people that know you from Nigeria and know of you when you were working, in these different companies, cleaning the toilet and all of that. And they look at you and they see success. You're no longer doing that. You're driving, you're no longer riding a bicycle, you're driving, you look successful, right? So, and they look at you. So what are some of the misconceptions?
The people around me, people close to me, they said what I heard them say. They say, Sandra, I don't know how they know me to be a very disciplined person because they know the work I put in. And what I hear mostly from them, now, Sandra, is not everybody like you. You're very disciplined. You can focus. I wish I'm like you. I wish I can do what you do. I wish I can be really focused. Now that's what, because they know the amount of work I put in. They know everybody around me mostly when I was building my first business. Of course, people think I was crazy. They knew how disciplined I was. I was not giving in. I was not backing down. They see the success. They say, wow, it does work. I wish I'm like you. I wish I can just do it like you can. I hear that, but I say, I'm not special than you. You can do it, but yeah, not everybody's like you. Yeah, that's what I hear. I don't know if that is misconception, but I hear they say I wish, and they say I inspire them also. That comes a lot because they were there. They saw it all. And some of them, of course, my younger sister is very clear. She cannot do the work I'm doing because she says, according to her, I'm boring because I read when I'm free. I'm always working.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
how
good.
she is.
Well, everything has an opportunity cost. When you do economics, everything has an opportunity cost. You do one thing at the expense of something else. So, if you want to grow your business and all that, you have to put in the work that you see the long term that the results can be seen in the long term. So
Let me break it here. Sorry that I break. I want to make something clear. That is when you find what you love, you do what you love. It's not a work.
yeah, that's
You
true.
have it.
That's true.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. Sometimes when I go out, people will ask me, "What do you do?" I say, "I don't work." Sometimes when I say I work, I feel guilty because I don't feel like I'm working. And when people ask me, "What do you do? Where do you work?" I say, "I don't work." I say, "You don't work? What do you do all day?" I say, "Oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I have businesses." Oh, that is work. Then I remember, yeah, that's the work, right? But I don't see them as work. I can sit behind my computer all day and just, if it were up to me, I would not go to bed because I rather just do what I'm doing. That is it. When you find what you love, you do what you love. It's not work anymore. You having fun. You have enjoyed it. As Steve Jobs said, he said, do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
That's
That's
true.
it.
That's true.
And what you
That's
love.
true.
Yes.
So our final question for listeners who want to create lasting change in their lives, what one action step can they take today that will set them on the path to breakthrough?
One step, first step, as Tony Robbins would say, the moment we make decisions, our destiny are shaped. Decision. Decision of I got to do it. I need to make this changes. That's it. That's when people, a lot of people say, "Oh, I should do it. I would love to do it." No, I have to make a decision and stand by your decision. That's it. That's the first step. Stand by your decision. And also, the most important, like we said, take baby steps. Don't try to make the changes once because you're not going to work. We are human beings. Change are hard. Trust me. I'm trying to work on my perfectionist. I'm still dealing with it. Change is hard. Take baby steps, one step at a time. One step at a time. You cannot change overnight, but make a decision. They say awareness is power and understanding. When you become aware of the things you want to change in your life, when you catch yourself doing those things, you draw back to say, "Oh, I shouldn't be doing this." Okay, I always do this to myself. Thanks for reminding me. Then become aware of the changes you want to make and start small. But start by your decision. It's not that you are not going to do those things at all. We are human beings. That change you want to make, you have been who you are since you can remember. So your brain is always going to take you back there. When you catch yourself there, so, "Oh no, this is not who I want to be anymore. I need to be there." You get yourself there. Be aware of the changes you want to make and make a decision to make those changes, no matter what decision. Yes. Does that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yes, it does. All right. Thank you so much, Sandra, for being part of the Modern Titus Two Woman podcast and just being part of our goals and to motivate other women to let them see that it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. With your story and your experience, we know how we see that people can change, face the challenges, and we all possess the potential to overcome and achieve greatness.
Yes,
So
it's good.
yes. So we thank you for that. And I'm sure a person's going to want to know how to get in touch with you. So if you can just tell them how to get in touch with you, we narrative of the podcast. But if you want to just tell them now how to get in touch with you, if you have any freebies or anything like that, you can
Yes,
let them know.
I do have a website for my coaching, victorynow.co. They can follow me on social media also. I think that is a great place to start. I post everyday short videos. Of course, people can get in touch with me. You have my email address. You can share
Yes,
that.
I can put it. I can put it there. I'll put it in the narrative if you want me there.
Yes.
I can put it there.
And I'm open. I'm willing to help people who are ready to make the changes they need. And when people are ready, does not matter. It doesn't matter to me how tough, the amount of work I have to put in to help them get to the
Mm-hmm.
place they want to be. But they
Mm-hmm.
got to be ready.
Mm-hmm. 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 So thank you again. Any parting, any word, any nuggets of wisdom you want to leave with us? Any wise word?
Yes, and don't back down. Even if sometimes you feel like I should give up and don't know. Breakthroughs are always close to the moment we want to give up. Keep
Yes, it's
on going.
true.
Keep
Yes.
believing. Yes, keep believing.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, sister. Thank you.
Okay. Just hold a little. Okay.